Hello everyone, I'm Deborah from Deborah on the Go, and I am going to be hiking the Pacific Crest Trail in April 2023. So I just wanted to introduce myself and tell you a little bit about me, a little bit about the PCT, and why it is that I want to hike it. So again, my name is Deborah. I'm 43 years old, and I live in Grande Prairie, Alberta, Canada. It is a beautiful winter day up here today. I wanted to do this introduction outside, but it's been a little too cold to just sit around and talk, so I'm inside. I started hiking in 2015 after my father had passed away. From 2013 to 2015, I had encountered a lot of loss in my life, and every 3 to 4 months, like clockwork for those 2 years, something either traumatic happened or I had suffered some kind of loss in some way. So by the time my father passed away in 2015, I was struggling with compound loss, and I really needed something in my life to help heal my hurting heart. A friend of mine that summer asked me if I would hike with her, and I had never gone hiking before, but I knew that I needed to do something, so I said, sure, I'll try it. My very first hike was climbing up a mountain. And the whole entire way up, I was like, what am I doing? This is awful. Why would anyone want to do this to themselves? And then we got to the top, broke through the trees, and I swear I heard the angels sing. It was one of those moments in life. And I instantly understood why I was doing what I was doing. And I instantly understood the healing powers of hiking, and I have never turned back. I was instantly hooked. And my progression as a hiker has just progressed over the last few years. I started off just day hiking. About 2 years into it, I had bought all my backpacking gear, which was not ultra light at all. I had no idea about backpacking, but I had gear. But it still took another 2 years to actually find somebody who would go backpacking with me. So in 2019, I went on my very first backpacking trip. It was 8 days long with 20 women. It was a guided hike in the remote wilderness of northern BC. There was no trail. We were just going off of landmarks. It was incredibly scary, incredibly amazing, and totally liberating. I fell in love with backpacking even more than I fell in love with hiking, and I actually struggled a little bit being back in civilization, even after only 8 days. It was the weirdest thing. And ever since then, I have yet to go on a backpacking trip where I have felt like I'm ready to be done at the end of it. My longest trip has been 10 days. So, I mean, I have not done a through hike. I understand it's a different beast, but with backpacking, I never feel finished. I always feel at the end of the trip like I could keep going, and I want to keep going. I feel like it's truth out there. So through hiking just seems like a natural progression for me. Given that I never want a backpacking trip to end, I'm really excited to try this thing called long distance through hiking. I'm super excited to experience what it's like to live on trail. So why the Pacific Crest Trail? Well, let's first talk about what the Pacific Crest Trail is, and more importantly, what it isn't. So being from Canada, I have encountered a lot of people who think they understand or know what the Pacific Crest Trail is, and they're highly misinformed. I don't think a lot of Canadians actually know very much about this trail, so I want to explain it a little bit. From a Canadian perspective, what I hear a lot is, oh, the Pacific Coast Trail, which then turns into the West Coast Trail. Now, the West Coast Trail is one of Canada's most famous trails. It is on the west coast of Vancouver Island. It's only 75 kilometers long, though. It is a difficult trail. It takes the average person 6 to 8 days to complete. And it is challenging. There are ladders to get up and down. ravines to cross, things like that. So that is, I think, the most common misperception Canadians have when I say the Pacific Crest Trail. They instantly think the West Coast Trail. They are not the same thing at all. It is also not the Pacific Coast Trail. I don't know if there is such a trail called that or not, but this trail is not along the coastline. It is the Crest Trail. It starts in Campo, California at the US-Mexico border. It goes up through California, Oregon, and Washington to the Canadian-US border just below Manning Park in British Columbia. It does not follow the coast. It follows the mountain ranges. The reason it's called Crest Trail is because we are essentially cresting all of the mountains. We climb up, we walk across a ridge, we go back down. We will be following the mountain range the entire way up. This trail is 2,653 miles long. That translates to 4,244 kilometers long. It's a long way. It takes the average hiker anywhere from 5 to 6 months to complete. So now that you know what the Pacific Crest Trail is, why do I want to hike that? That is a very good question. A lot of people think that I'm crazy for wanting to hike a trail this long. I think I've already explained part of it. The idea of it really excites me because I love backpacking so much. I just really want to experience what living on trail for months at a time is going to be like. But why specifically the Pacific Crest Trail? Because there are other long distance trails in the US that I could do. There's the Continental Divide Trail and there's the Appalachian Trail. I've ruled the Continental Divide Trail out simply because it is less of a completed trail. There are more options, alternatives to take. There are some areas that you are essentially route finding, and I don't think that I am ready for that scale of an adventure yet. It is on my radar, but not for my first one. When I was first originally looking at doing a thru hike, most people start with the Appalachian Trail. It is probably the most hiker friendly in the sense that there are lots of towns right on the trail or very, very close. You don't have to go very many days without being able to get off trail. It's a very social trail and it's a great one to start off with. My reasoning for not wanting to start with the Appalachian Trail is that it is largely a green tunnel. You hike through forest and trees for miles and miles to get a 3-minute view. That might be exaggerating it, but that's essentially what a green tunnel is. I can get the green tunnel here at home. Most of our trails here in Canada fit that description. You might hike miles through the trees for a few minutes of spectacular views. I'm looking for an experience where there are views for days, views for miles, and you're getting views as you're climbing, you're getting views as you're walking the ridges, and it just is more views than green tunnel. That is the Pacific Crest Trail. It is mostly vast, wide open views. The trail goes through different terrains as well. So it starts off in the Southern California desert. It's mountainous desert, which I think is very exciting. It then moves into the Sierra Nevada mountains, which can't be paralleled anywhere else. Then Oregon through all the volcanic fields, and then Washington, which I'm super excited about. It looks as though the views in Washington are amazing. So that is why I chose the Pacific Crest Trail. Now, why did I choose 2023? I have been embarking on this journey since 2019. That is when I decided that I was going to do a thru hike. That was a decision I made shortly after my very first backpacking trip. One of the reasons I didn't go on a thru hike right after deciding was I needed time to save financially. This is a big financial endeavor. Not only do you need money to live on the trail for food, potential days off in town, hotels, gear, emergencies, all those things. You also need money to pay the bills that you've left behind at home if you haven't been able to get rid of all of them. So I needed time. I needed time to save up. So I knew I needed at least 3 to 5 years to possibly do this. So I gave myself the range of 2023 to 2025. My goal all along was 2023. And the reason I chose this coming year was because it marks 10 years from my divorce. It marks 10 years of my freedom. It marks 10 years of me actively improving myself, figuring out who I am, living authentically, and just building a life that I absolutely love. So 2023, it's a celebration. A lot of people go on these through hikes to find themselves or to figure out life, or, you know, to figure out their issues and things like that. And I feel like I've already done all of that. So this for me is just a celebration of all the hard work that I've done in these last 10 years. And I want to mark it and celebrate who I am and the life that I have created for myself. I do hope that while I'm out there, I figure out what the next step in life for me is. I have always been an office admin, and as my outdoor life grows, I feel very suffocated sitting behind a desk in an office. So I am hoping to use this break from work to figure out what I want to do next. I know I don't want to sit behind a desk anymore, but what that looks like for the future, I don't know. So hopefully the trail will reveal itself to me along the way. So why is it that I want to vlog my journey? Well, I am hoping to be able to put out a daily vlog throughout this journey. If I find that that is too much to handle while on trail, because I still want to enjoy trail, then I may have to combine days together. But my goal right now is to do a daily vlog. The reason I want to do this is there's a few of them. First and foremost, for my own memories for later, I want to capture all of it. I want to be able to put this out for my family and friends. A lot of my family and friends live vicariously through me and my outdoor life. I already put out vlogs of my adventures, so this just makes sense to continue to do so, and I'm super excited to share this journey with everyone from back home. And yeah, I really want them to be able to see what it is I'm experiencing. But there is another reason. When I decided that I wanted to embark on this journey back in 2019, I started watching YouTube vlogs a lot. And what I noticed was that I couldn't find any Canadian vloggers. Now, they may have been out there, but I couldn't find any. I found a lot from the US, I found a lot from New Zealand, Australia, England, but I couldn't find any vloggers who were from Canada. And I think that from being outside of the US, you have a different perspective. It's a different journey. The logistics are entirely different for someone who doesn't live in the country. There are things that are different, things that you can't get there that you can get at home, and vice versa. So I didn't have any reference as to what it would be like as a Canadian. I did this past year in 2022, I did find 2 Canadian vloggers, and it was eye-opening. There were things that I didn't realize, like you can't get extra strength Advil unless you have a prescription in the States. Like, what's that about? So anyway, it took till 2022 to find another Canadian vlogger. Like I said, maybe they're out there, and if they are out there, please let me know. But I did not find any. And so I really want to share my journey for other Canadians who want to possibly do this trail one day and to know what it's like as a Canadian hiking a US trail. So that is a big reason, another big reason why I want to vlog. So I think that's pretty much it. That covers a little bit about who I am, my journey as a hiker, what the Pacific Crest Trail is, why I want to hike it, and why I want to vlog it. So, and as I said, I'm starting in April 2023, and I really, really hope that you subscribe to my channel and follow me along. I'm going to be putting out a question and answer video here shortly. I have had a lot of family and friends and even strangers ask me a ton of questions about the trail and how I'm going to handle it. And I've gotten a wide variety of really great questions. So I'm going to be putting out a question and answer video here shortly. So I hope that you come back for that. And I will also be, prior to my departure, I am going to do a gear video so I can show you what gear I'm going to be taking, what I'm going to be living in and with for 5 to 6 months. So I hope that you come back for those. And again, I hope that you follow me along on my journey, and I'm super excited to share it with you. Until then, bye!